So I kind of have like a fear of heights, so I really get scared of the whole roller coaster thingy, and anything like that is obviously it's scary. Although I haven't really experienced it on VR, so I don't know how I'll react.
What you're about to see over the next couple of minutes is the battle for the Iraqi city of Mosul in a way that it's never been seen before. Now at this point the helicopters have been circling for more than an hour without firing a shot. This isn't necessarily unusual because they're waiting for targets to come in from the ground as they offer air cover. Look at the front of the helicopter, they're about to get one.
Oh, I think this was a really good one. I mean, there was so much information, and frankly speaking, I would actually get scared of going into a chopper, but somehow sitting there and just sitting here and getting that experience was amazing.
One thing that definitely stands out is the fact that it feels like you are part of that story. So it really does feel like you are with the journalist, and that makes a little bit of a difference.
They made it really interesting after they showed those those flags come up, and then you see, okay, this is the place, this is what happened. There's a nice background to it. So
in some ways that's a very good thing, because then it feels like you are zooming into that area and you can see what event has happened there. So I think that was pretty good.
The audio is really good, so obviously the way they're explaining it, you're very into the story and you know where you're going, you know how you're supposed to look at the right, left, or that way it was quite good.
I think that helped me because I don't know if you noticed, but I was standing still the whole time. Like I wasn't really walking around and looking around. So I think for someone like me, it's good when someone tells me where to look and what to expect. So I think that's really that's quite helpful.
I mean, you would feel that you're used to watching documentaries where the journalist is himself personally going around or talking to people, or you're sort of walking with him. But this was interesting that you're being guided, and it's you who's actually there and experiencing this and looking at things. It's very different and it's better, I would say.
From Lake Tana, the Blue Nile begins its long journey to the Mediterranean Sea. And it gets off to quite a start, plunging down this dramatic waterfall. This is the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, and it's what this whole story is about. It'll be one of the world's largest dams and the biggest hydroelectric power station in Africa when it's finished. It will drive Ethiopia's ambitious plans for an industrial revolution.
My problem with that was that it was a proper TV piece, so it gets a little too long for a VR sort of piece. And it was about 12 minutes long, and I think I watched about 6 or 7 minutes of it, and after that I just felt that the headset had become too heavy and I wanted to take it off. And by the time I took it off, there were you could see the ridges of that on my nose and my forehead.
The reporter being there, it was more like a TV report. It was like you were watching this travel thingy where the anchor comes and like he's showing you around. Again, they also did not do much with instructions as to when he entered the mosque, or he was showing around the paintings. We didn't know where to look because he had already started talking and there was no instruction as to now move on to the right, or he has to take us around. It's a journey together, so I felt like that didn't happen.
So as long as you have a reporter, that makes it very journalistic, because you don't want to feel like you're just watching something. You need that authority of a journalist to tell you something, so that's a good thing to do.
Everything's just flat, wiped out, it's gone. Refrigerators, air conditioners, some of our jewelry, our stoves, our refrigerator, our house, everything, our home.
The truck over there, the lawnmower,
It's gone. It's all gone.
I was not expecting it to be as uncomfortable as it was actually. I mean, I thought it's like even when you watch documentaries, you feel sad for a little amount of time and then you don't. But I think this was different. The whole experience of you actually standing there and watching things damaged and people talking about their homes and how there's nothing left of it. It really does make a little bit of difference. It does make you feel a little more, a little worse, I feel, compared to watching it on TV when you see those sort of stock footage images, I think.
That felt really personal, and you could see how much they've lost because a narrator or the journalist cannot show that much empathy in his or her voice as much as the people themselves can. So that really hit, because then you know what they have been through.
So here it's like you're actually standing there, you're looking at that area which is and just helpless people talking and sharing their stories. I think it affects because it's more personal, because you're actually there. You feel like you're talking to them. It's not the reporter. So I think that makes a difference. No, I think I feel it may be the other way around. If it's there and you're constantly looking at things from a perspective that you are present there, as in reality, then it would make. I think you would be more sensitive then, compared to being like, okay, this is just happening, or reading about it, and it's not just statistics. You're actually seeing things happen. So it's very different.
No, I think it will definitely increase empathy per se, because again, like I said, from the point of view of a consumer or as a casual news reader, that will definitely affect them. So that way, yes, it will increase empathy, but we would need empirical evidence to suggest that. So my opinion probably doesn't count.
I think there's no, you can't really put a finger on whether it will work or not, but I think there's no harm in going for it, because if we are already feeling so much when it's like when you're put into that space, maybe it's much more personal when a person's talking to you and he's sharing their stories, or he's just going about his life, but you're watching it unfold, it's kind of that. So I think that may also work. I'm not sure whether it will immediately, like, people will take to it, but I think it will be more personal experience, so of course it will affect you more.
Yeah, but of course the storytelling has to match that, because some of the longer pieces that we saw today, I just don't think they were suited for a VR headset, because then it just gets too long, and then I'm saying from personal experience, I just wanted to remove the headset after a while because it just got really heavy. So other than that, yes, definitely. Maybe, yeah, I'm interested now.